Okay, the PowerPoint to this and the PDF will be available at some time tomorrow because I kind of have to clean it up a little bit. But you can follow along here pretty easy. If you're someone who likes to take notes, you don't have to write every last thing down I say unless that is something that helps you. Does anybody need to see me on the video or anything? If that helps people, I don't know. But I prefer it not. But okay. I am recording this. That is recording. Okay, so this is part 2. And the first thing that I'm going to go over is just a little bit, I'm sure those of you who've been on my trainings, I like to think about the psychology of the business. So, okay. People might doubt what you say, but they will believe what you do. You always need to lead by example. So everything I'm showing you here, if you think that it's a great system, then you need to do it so that you can show your people how to do it. This is your business, so you can choose to follow this proven successful system, or you can choose to go out on your own and try things new ways. You can tweak this. You can probably not twerk it though, and but you can tweak it to your team. But this is the model that I'm going to use for my team managers on down. So if you are going to preach it, you better practice it, and that goes all the way from recruiting to team building to hostessing to getting bookings. The second thing I want to say is you need to act like the title that you want. So some of these systems, for those of you who are just at the lead level and maybe you only have 4 people total on your team and you're like, this is overwhelming and this is too much. Oh no, it is not, because you're not always going to be a lead. And the day that you're a senior lead consultant and the day that you're a premier and a day that you're a team manager, you are already going to be setting yourself up for success and not to be overwhelmed, and to continue not to just rise, but to be able to maintain and stabilize your team. So I might tell you to do something that you don't even have the team to do it yet. These folders might sit empty for another 60 days, but I promise you, you will fill them. So right now I'm trying to act like an elite executive. That's what I want. So I'm trying to put systems in place that are going to get me there. So next thing is preparation. If you are not prepared for the things coming, then you're probably preparing yourself to fail. I think that with how fast sometimes Jamberry can grow and how quickly things can change, we can get crushed either by the growth or the changes. But if we have a strong business model, then we're going to be able to endure both of those things. So that's why I'm going through all these trainings, and that's why I've come on really strong with the trainings recently, because I have completely realized their value. Okay, so on to it. The first thing I want to go over is your pipeline. If you're wanting to grow and to maintain does not always mean getting the people under you to be working, because in this business, statistically, that's not going to happen. Even if you rise above the statistics, 100% of your team is not going to be working 100% of the time. So you always need to have recruiting in your back pocket. Recruiting needs to be a part of your business. It's not something that you're going to do when you need it. You're always going to have it as part of your business. So on that note, we're going to talk about your pipeline. And first thing you're going to want to do is create a tracking system. You need, you can do these things online, and if you're somebody who doesn't want to print out papers, you can do this all on the computer. I have found personally that I write everything down anyway. Like if I am on a phone call, say with Jessica Daniels, I am not pulling up the screen and typing out everything that she says, because first of all, she would hear that and that would sound insanely rude. Second of all, now I'm not going to be able to type that fast. And third of all, if I write this down on a scrap piece of paper, then I can at least throw it in a folder with her name on it, and I'll have it forever. Because sometimes when I talk to y'all, I am literally just in my kitchen or something like that, and that might be the case for you. It's not always scheduled. If it is scheduled, I actually have documents for you that will help you keep track of those things. So you need to make a tracking system, and the tracking systems I will be going over are ones that use paper. So if you have an issue with paper, then you can create a system on the computer for it. So for your recruit leads, you need to make a file folder for every month of the year. Print it out and use the recruit lead worksheet, which I'll show you what it is here in a second. Then you need to file each worksheet in the month you will be following up with her next. Some people, you might be moving that each month from January to February to March to April. Some, it might just get put in April because she told you, oh, after my wedding in April, I want to sign on. So you immediately move her to the April folder. And let me show you what that looks like. This is, I haven't saved it yet. That's funny. Let me save this. Sorry, everybody. Okay. This is your recruit lead worksheet. You're going to want to write down her name, how you know her. If it's your friend, you don't need to write that down. If it's somebody that you met, that was another vendor at a show, you're probably not going to always remember that, and you don't want to seem like a ding-dong whenever you, so sorry. I was in the middle of converting a document, so we'll just don't pay any attention to that. So these are the questions that you're going to track on here, and then you're going to make notes. So how do you know her? How did you meet her? On a scale of 1 to 10, where is she with joining Jamberry? You ask her that question. You fill it in here. And when does she when does she want to start earning a Jamberry paycheck? Okay. This will force you to ask these two questions, and these two questions will close more people into becoming new consultants. They're very powerful questions. The first question, scale of 1 to 10. You are asking this person on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to join Jamberry today? And if she says, I am a 6, you say, why are you a 6 and what can I do to get you to a 10? And then she will give you all of her reasons, and then you can come up with solutions for them to get her to that 10. Because if she says, oh, well, what would make me get to a 10 is just, you know, getting my husband's approval, then that's a pretty hot lead right there. And you know from what she told you, that's all she needs, and then you would write down scale of 1 to 10. You know, you write down she's a 6, husband's approval. Okay, so that's how you would treat that. Then down here, you would ask her, well, when would you like to start earning your Jamberry paycheck? This is another powerful question because it takes it from the kit is going to cost me so much to this is not a money spending, this is money making activity. And it will switch that over in their brain. The second thing that it's going to do for you is you're going to remind her that we get paid once a week, but she's going to say, you know, I have this girls' weekends coming up in August. I'd really like to start getting that first paycheck by March 1st. Then you know right then, great. You should probably start up in sometime in February would be great for you then. And then you can put her in the February folder. This is going to force you to ask those questions. If you pull out this recruit lead sheet every time you're talking, whether you're Facebooking somebody or you're texting them or you have them on the phone, you can put this information in, and it will help you ask those very powerful questions. And remember what they said. So that's what the Recruit Lead worksheet looks like whenever I finish it, because apparently I had not finished it. So that's why I said all this stuff will be uploaded tomorrow. So let's go back to building a successful. Why would it not go right back? Seriously. All right, so that's our tracking system, and which is important, but even more important than tracking these people is following up with them. So each month, even if somebody is in the April folder, you're going to send her something in March as well. You're going to send every recruit lead something of value so that you can keep their interest in Jamberry and so that you have an icebreaker. So following up with a recruit lead every month does not mean that you say to them, will you please join my Jamberry team? Are you ready to join my Jamberry team? That's not what you're doing. They're people. Find something out about them that you can ask them. Or if you don't know them personally, which can happen with so many of the people that we meet, not from our area, then share something of value about Jamberry. Here are some examples. I mean, obviously it's not what's going to happen every year, but for the year of 2013, this is what happened. I was able to talk to them about joining in January and having more time to earn the cruise. In February, you get to talk about retiring designs. In March, you get to talk about the new catalog. Well, and apparently April and May don't exist on here. April, May, and June, there's other things you can talk about. You can talk about collegiate wraps. You can talk about the nail art studio. You can talk about the hand care. There's just, these are just examples. So of things that can engage that conversation again, other than nagging them. So this is step one, is that you will always be recruiting, and this is a very easy way to track and follow up with the recruit lead you get. It is very easy in our day-to-day life to get a recruit lead and for that to get lost in our purse with a receipt and a piece of gum. So at least that's definitely happened to me. And this is going to be a more professional way to keep track of who you are seeing, what you are saying to them, and when is the last time I talked to them. And that will all be in the recruit lead worksheet. My hope is that when I finish the recruit lead worksheet, you'll be able to say what you sent them. What was the thing of value you sent them in March? What was their response, if that's, pertinent? It might not be. But at least you'll know what you have talked to them about. Because the hope here is that you have like 20 recruit leads at any time. Now, some of them might be in the lukewarm to cold category, and some might be really hot. But if you can be running anywhere from 10 to 20 of these ladies at a time, you're going to be getting 1 to 2 signing up each month. And yes, we'll get in on how to kind of up this in a little bit. Okay. The next big chunk I'm going to go over is identifying your team. If you can't identify your team, you cannot meet their needs. I have failed at this, so I decided to stop failing at it and figure it out and share it with y'all so history does not repeat itself. There's several people who are on your team. I got some of this from Belinda Ellsworth, and then I added in what I feel like is more representative of my experiences and how Jamberry's system works. So the very first in this are your new consultants. So how am I going to identify them? I've told you right here who they are. Oh, by the way, this has a file system too. It's down here. You're going to make a hanging file that says all of these titles right here, which I probably didn't add in. Like I said, this kind of need to be cleaned up just a little bit. New consultants, future leaders, newly promoted advanced leaders, business builders, and hobbyists. There, you will have a file system with a hanging file that says all of these. Then you will have manila files or file folders, however you like to organize, with every consultant's name. Now this is not going to be every consultant on your downline, and I'll go over who really goes where, but they will be in here. And then there are all sorts of documents that correspond back here to help you track all this. So identifying your team. First, we have our new consultants. Most of your people are going to be here, okay, or at least that's who you're going to be working with a lot, is your new consultants. They're going to need your help the most. You might be having, this is going to be intense. Like tonight I did a welcome call. My welcome call was 1 hour and 15 minutes, and I didn't even go over the workstation with her because there's just that much information to learn about her and to teach her that just have to do with the basics, the 6 parties, the who are your 3 recruit leads, all that kind of stuff. These new consultants are just going to be your frontline, or what I call adopted frontline. Sometimes there's people who have completely fallen off of their sponsor and sometimes even their team manager's radar, and they are just like out there treading water by themselves. If you find this and they are in your downline, throw them a life jacket, pull them up, and treat them exactly as you would your own frontline. Even if they don't create a separate leg for you, do that for them. Because if you want to actively work your business, you're going to have to be actively identifying and helping your team, even if they're 10 levels down. So usually, like 99% of the time, your new consultants are your frontline. However, you might have to adopt a couple. So yeah, that's for the downline members who have been abandoned by their sponsors. That happens. It's just part of the game. Your focus. What do you want to do with these people? Well, I've got it all written out here. First thing you're going to want to do is conduct a welcome call. And there's a new consultant worksheet that I have right here. And I just did this with my new consultant. I wrote all of this down. Her name, employment, household. I write this down. Like, I want to know, is she married, not married? Does she have a roommate? What's going on in her daily life that way, so I can understand where she's coming from, what her obstacles are in life, what her support system at home looks like. So the household will kind of tell me that. Does she have any kids? Then I ask her, and you just kind of do interview her. This is an interview. I want to get to know her. I actually told her that today. I said, this will kind of sound a little bit like an interview, but these are things that I need to know about you so that I can be a better sponsor for you. Some of these questions happen naturally, and I just wrote them down. And that's probably why it took over an hour. But if you want to make it a little like condensed, you could probably just ask the questions. So I asked her what made her decide to join Jamberry, and that is great knowledge for you to see where the person's coming from, because this helps build her story. And she said to me when she got done, she goes, that sounds like a total script, but it's what I've been telling everyone. And mind you, she's only been signed on for 4 days. And so what made you decide to join Jamberry is going to be her 30-second story that she tells people. That's going to be her her story. And right there you already have it. So later if she's doing Jamberry University and she's like, I'm confused, I don't really know what my story is, and you can be like, remember, it's what made you decide to join Jamberry. And then you can help remind her what that was. Then you ask her how much she wants to earn a month and if she wants to build a team. These are good things to know. They're not just good to know like in a yes or no way as far as build a team, but as in a what are her insecurities about that. Most people do want to build a team, but some people don't want to build a team because they're afraid they're not a leader. Some people don't want to build a team because they don't think anybody will say yes. Some people are afraid to build a team because they don't know how to ask, and this question will draw that out of them. It's not just so you can put yes or no. It's so that you can see where her weaknesses are to help her in that arena. How much do you want to earn a month? That's pretty easy. Like that gives you a starting point. If she says, I want to earn $1,000 a month and then says she doesn't want to build a team, then you really need to explain to her what that's going to entail then, which is going to be hard. She'll have to do $3,000 a month. But and she might decide she wants to build a team. Then talk to her in that little bit when you say, do you want to build a team, and you get into that little bit of a conversation. Explain to her why you built a team. You built a team because it's the second way to make money. You can have more income because you love leading others. You love the camaraderie. You built a team because, goodness gracious, people were just asking to sign on. So I was like, why not? Why not go for this? You know, you have your reasons, and your reasons will help ensure her and give her confidence in why she wants to. So then you're going to write down her why. That's a little bit different than what made you decide to join Jamberry, because the person I talked to already evolved from why she joined Jamberry to what she wants to do with it right now. And this person is just driven, I can tell, even if she didn't say this to me, she is driven by having this little business of her own and talking to people about it and promoting that this is something great for kids. And she doesn't like all the chemicals in nail polish, and she also is insanely addicted to the product, and she just loves it. So right now that's kind of her why. She told me she doesn't need extra money, but she loves the product, and she really already loves the business aspect of it. So and she didn't say, this is my why. This is what I gathered from our entire conversation, and then I kind of wrote it down. Okay, so then you're going to go down here and you're going to write down her fast start dates and bonuses. This way you just always know when you pull out her sheet, there it is. It's easy. You don't have to think. You don't have to say she started in June, so that means la la la. Yes, you can do that, but I'm trying to simplify your life. So you'll just pull up her sheet. I'll be like, oh, Amanda, yeah, she needs to hit senior lead by July 31st if she wants that $100 and I want that matching bonus. And I want to make sure she's on track for that. Explanations. These are things that you should go over with her. Team pages, free credits. I don't go over fast start bonus dates with her, by the way. I might mention the fast start, but even people who are excited to make money are confused. So I tell her, do 6 parties. It's all going to make sense. So explanations, I tell her about the team pages. I tell her about her free credits, make sure she got those. I do tell her not to do retail selling. It's the only no-no I talk about because it's an easily confused one to do. And I don't want her coming to me in a week and saying, oh my gosh, my best friend owns a boutique and she wants to carry Jamberry, and then like stab her in the heart. So I just tell that one right away because I feel like that one comes up enough that it should just be out there. I ask her if she's read the PMP and if she has any questions. If she says she hasn't read it, I say, you know, you should at some point probably read that. But I'm not going to push that. This is her business. If she doesn't want to read it, I'm not her mom. I just make sure I answer any questions she has about it, and then I ask if she has any questions about ProPay and make sure she knows that she needs to set that up, and that's how we get paid. Then I go over the 6-party launch system. I tell her she's going to have 6 parties. I'm not going over all of this. There's some complete other training on that, and I hope most of you all are on that, but I'm not going to go over that, but I go over it with her and why I do it, and then I write down. Sometimes your people might already have dates, or maybe they don't. So like right here, she had someone who had already requested a party, so I put that person's name right here, and then we're kind of waiting on that date. And then when I call her next week, I told her she has 2 weeks to fill all of these spaces. So when I call her next week, I'm hoping she has, you know, party number 3, 4, and 5 for me. Then I ask her the recruit leads, and this is part of the 6-party fast start that I went over. So I write that down. I don't just write down the person's name. I might write down some pertinent information about her. Okay, so new consultant, week 1, check-in. Week 2, week 3, you need to check in with this person for her first 3 weeks. And then if she has decided to drop the ball, you no longer check in with her. If she's decided to keep going, then you keep checking in on her. And you can change this page and print it out again and keep track of all your check-ins on it. Or you can just flip it over and write on the back, whatever works for you. And this is part of the 6-party thing. You're going to call her beforehand, so you want to check off here, and then you want to talk about the future bookings, recruit leads that she got, the sales, overall thoughts. I should make this recruit leads thing kind of bigger, huh? Okay, so this is going to tell you, you're going to start seeing what's actually going on. The reason that I think that this system is different possibly than what we've done before is because there is a very intensive communication process in the beginning with our new consultants. And those of us who've been around longer may have fallen off from doing as intense as we used to back in the day, or maybe that's just me, I don't know. But as your team grows, it's going to be harder to give that concentrated time that you can when you have a team of 5. So this is going to help you be the leader you are at a team of 5, the motivator. When my first 6 months, 100% of my frontline hit their first fast start. I can't be that same leader when I have an entire team of people I'm trying to manage and I haven't recognized where they are and what they need. So I start failing people here and there and here and there. So, so this will help you not do that. This will help you be an even better leader even when you have the team of 5, so that you're a phenomenal leader when you have the team of 300. At least that's what I think. I feel like if I could have been doing this from day one, I would be so much better. Now this new consultant, I did make this up. I think I made this up back in August, and just this week I added in the 6-party system. I only filled it out one time. So don't have this system and then not use it. 90% of training is action. 10% is listening. I didn't even listen to myself when I made this consultant worksheet. That was really silly, by the way. It would have helped me a lot. So then I just added down here just lots of lines if you want to write lots of notes. Like even today, like I had to take extra notes on my welcome call because the person said, hey, I have a question. The Lexic cheerleading coach wants to know if she can do this or that. And so I wrote that down. Oh, great. That's a good lead for her. I want to follow up with her about that. And I did straight up tell her I was taking notes, since I had to ask her to repeat a couple things. So it's okay. Let them know you're taking notes so that you can help them and follow up with them. All right, so that's the new consultant. Does anybody have questions at this point? Does anybody liking this? Is anybody hating this? Which I guess you could. Okay. All right. Yes, Amber. I am going to be uploading this into Wildfires, and I am going to create a Dropbox link to it as well. So you'll be able to get this easily and share with your teams easily. So that should all be loaded up tomorrow. My hope is during my daughter's nap time, so that won't be until later in the afternoon, because I'm going to spend all day tomorrow with her in the morning. So in the afternoon when she takes a nap, I'll start uploading things. Or those of you who know me, it's probably going to happen like between the hours of 8:30 and 9 a.m. when I skip my workout. So, all right. So here we go. On to the next thing, which that was new consultants. So, sorry. And next, you have your future leaders. Now, a lot of you on this call are technically future leaders, so the next few things are not actually going to be people you even have on your team, but you still need to set up the systems. So future leaders, how do we identify these in Jamberry? This would be someone who completed all 3 fast starts during their fast start period, someone who has high PRV, anyone who says they want it, shows a lot of enthusiasm, and anyone who has hit lead, has maintained it, and is hitting it earlier and earlier each consecutive month. So say that you had somebody on your team for 6 months and they had never hit lead, and then in month 7 they hit lead, and then they hit it again halfway through month 8, and then they hit it again halfway through month 9. That's a future leader. Even though she's been on the team and nothing's happened, she has now moved into that category. So what you would do, I'm going to go on the screen here. You see me? Hi. So what you would do with her, and these are not my files for this, but if she was here, and this is actually my personal files. Anyway, if she was in here in the new consultant or business builder or whatever, I would take her out of here and then I would put her in here. And now she has become a future leader. And then you are actually going to have some more things to do that will really identify her as that for you. But you're just going to move her to the next level in your filing system. So that later, when you're going through and you're like, I really want to contact all my new consultants, then you just pull out your hanging file and like I said, you do whatever system works for you. And then you pull out, these are all my new consultants, and let me start calling them and marking off what I've done. So, great. And I like this because I get to get lots of office supplies, which I love. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So that's what you're going to do. So somebody really could go from new consultant into future leader. And I did want to say this before it started, but all of you who are here, you are leaders. And I am hoping that I am taking everybody who is on this call to team manager by the fall. It's entirely possible and doable, and I'm getting ready to show you a few ways to do that. But I promise you that if we can come together in solidarity, do these things, embrace them, and then pass them down to those who come on, you are going to see your team go from like this to like this and have that stability at the same time. Sometimes you can go, okay? This is going to be like exploding with stability, okay? Exploding's fine, and if you explode, great, but I want you to have this system in place so that you can catch when everything starts coming back down, all right? For those of you in cheerleading, it would be like doing an amazing basket toss and never catching the girl, okay? I want you to catch her because it's going to come back down at some point, okay? That's just the law of business. All right, I'm going to get off the screen. All right, so there we go. Future leaders. What are you going to focus on? You're going to tell them they're leaders. You're going to show them they're leaders. You're going to shout it to the rooftops. And you're actually going to do a leader call with them. They might not know it's a leader call, but you're going to call them up and you're going to go over the leader worksheet with them. Do not leave them high and dry. Just because somebody has become a lead does not mean they know everything. In fact, they probably know less than they did before because they're going from being this really amazing consultant who gets sales and recruits to a brand new leader who hasn't done any of the leading yet. So they actually need your help more than ever. They might have the party thing figured out, but they don't necessarily have the team thing figured out, so you're going to want to help them there. So for those of you who are already a lead, you're going to have like so much support. If you're scared of identifying these people, that's fine because your upline, who might be a senior lead consultant, and her team manager are going to be helping you identify these people too. I did set this system up so that your upline will be supporting you, but you will be established as the leader. So don't get freaked out. We're all going to be working together. So what you want to do with this future leader, and I learned this from Belinda. Yes? Okay, sorry. My husband just got home. I learned this from Belinda, and she says 8 is great. You want to have and look for 8 leaders, 8 legs leaders on your team. Okay? So you're going to work with her to build 8 frontline leaders. You're going to go over the 6-party fast start system with her so that she's going over that with her team. She's probably already gone through it, but make sure she's still having the other people go through it. And then whatever I have on the comma, etc. All right, so future leaders. And then there's the future leader worksheet, which I'm not, is this the one that I was messing up? No. Okay, so she comes over, she becomes a future leader. We want to ask her questions again. You might already have all this information on her because she's your frontline. You don't need to fill it out again. If she's not your frontline, then you need to fill it out. You need to ask her these questions again, even if you've asked them before. How much do you want to make? What rank do you want next? This is a new question to be asking someone. What is your long-term rank goal? Are you going to conference? Are you working towards the incentive? These are good things to know about people. What is her new why? I mean, maybe when she first joined, she wanted to make a few $100s a month. But now you've found out that she really wants to, what she really loves about it, her why, is building a team and empowering others. And that goes so much further than the $400 a month she's getting. So that's her new why, and you really need to feed that for her. Then, I'm showing my screen, right? Oh, okay. Sorry. So then you're going to talk to her, and you're going to say, who are your recruit leads? And you're going to write them down, and you're going to ask her how she knows them, and you're going to ask her what's the scale from 1 to 10. Because later you're going to be checking in with this girl, and you're going to be asking her the progress. Okay? So this system that is set up gives you, the consultant, a way to keep yourself accountable, but it also gives your upline a way to help you be accountable too, so you're not in it alone. All right? Then you're going to ask your future leader about her upcoming parties, because she is new and she's having to now balance her team with parties, and you don't want her personal business to suddenly fall off because she's new and she might not be able to handle both, so you need to really help her remain accountable for that. And she might say, oh my gosh, I have been talking so much to my team and getting them through their launches. I don't even have my own. Oh my gosh. And she freaks out on you. But that's okay. You're going to help her through it. And then she's not going to freak out. Well, I mean, she'll be over the freak out. Okay, so then you're going to write down, you're going to check in on her. And this check-in is like, the reason I left this blank is because I might want to check in with, I might want to, sorry Jessica, I keep using you. I might want to check in with Jessica Daniels, although you're not a future leader, you're in a different category, but let's pretend. Jessica Daniels, I want to check in with a fundraiser she's doing, so I write down fundraiser. That's what I'm checking in with her about. Or maybe I'm just checking with her about her month, or her month, or whatever. Jessica, you're in a category that hasn't, you're in transitional leaders. I haven't gotten there yet, but that's what you're in. So, check in. All right, so, and then this will remind you, what do I want to talk to her about? So, and then again, the future leader, you can write a bunch of stuff down. Okay, so, moving on. Ooh, that didn't work either. Okay. Transitional leaders. Here you are, Jessica. These are senior leads who have made, okay, well, you're in between, but for me, you're here. Senior leads who have maintained and hit the rank earlier and earlier in the month. Your premiers, your newly promoted team managers, and team managers that have not maintained rank for 3 consecutive months. Actually, a lot of people are here for me right now. This is for me where the bulk of my people are, which is why I realized I desperately need a system for y'all, so I can help you. Okay, so those of you who are leads, you're like, dude, I'm nowhere near having that. Great, still set up this system so that when you have them there, you can work with them. Because I tell you, people are going to be moving from folder to folder to folder faster than you think. Okay, so my transitional leaders. My focus is to go through the transitional leaders. Yay, another worksheet. I want to keep them from backsliding by helping them with their goals and visions. I want to continue checking in with them every week. I don't want to abandon them. They are starting to rise in the ranks, but they have new needs, okay? They might not have needed the same thing that my future leaders needed, but they need new things from me, and I need to identify and help them with those. I need to make sure now that she is a leader of more people and more people are looking up to her, I need to make sure that she is communicating successful practices to her downline, like the 6-party fast start, and like this other thing, team pages, etc. I need to make sure that she's not doing bad things. Is she promoting to her team that getting warm bodies for rank is what we should do? Really, that's not something that we should be doing. I would want to talk her out of that. I would want to say, we want bodies that produce PRV, because PRV equals TRV. Warm bodies equals $0. It's an active leg, but the next month it's $0. We want an active leg that remains active. So talking about things like that, helping her identify people in her downline, because she might have 50 people now and it might be hard for her to see them all. And make sure that new people are being welcomed, all this. Just making sure that I am supporting her in the right way. And the big thing at this point is really making sure that your transitional leaders are going through leadership trainings and communicating to her team when there's big trainings to go to. Okay, so the transitional leader thing is not there. Kind of just the same thing that you did before, but down here I'm going to be asking her who her future leaders are. I'm not going to be asking her about her parties anymore. I'm going to be asking her about her future leaders. So you're not going to ever be asking anybody like 25 questions. You're usually going to have 2 areas of focus for each group so you don't get overwhelmed. She should have the party thing down by now. But you are going to also talk to her about her transitional leaders, because she could have them, and you're going to talk to her about recruit leads, because we should always be recruiting. So we're going to check in, same thing. It's just the same thing over and over on a lot of these. But there's got to be a better way to do this. Okay, so the next category is advanced leaders. This is super fast, and I'm not even going to go over the worksheets on it because I'm the only person using this right now. So once you become a team manager, I will go over this with you. But basically, it's your team managers who've maintained it for 3 months, and anyone who is ranked above team manager. Those are your advanced leaders. So say that you're a senior lead and you get an executive underneath you. She might need help from you in different ways than she needed help from you before, and there will be a system set up for that. But basically, your purpose at this point is to support her and help her not to backslide. Because when people backslide, although in the industry that happens, it is really detrimental, especially if it happens like immediately after promotion, or, I mean, backsliding sucks. I mean, I've done it. It sucks. And not everyone is going to be like, oh, big deal. I mean, I didn't like it, so I can imagine other people won't like it, and some people might just want to be like, whatever. So you want to be in contact with them, so if they're at their whatever point, you can flip it around to, really, think of all the amazing things that have happened. This is 1 month, big whoop, moving on. Because it's the truth. Like if you're doing things right, there might be a bad month, but it's not the end of your business. One bad sales month is not end of business. All right, so here's the next one that will mean something to everyone here is your business builders. This is anyone not classified above. This is anyone who has logged into the workstation in the past 60 days, even if they hadn't had sales. Like someone might have had 0 sales, but if they're logging into their workstation, they care. They just need help and they just need focus. So your focus is to go over the Business Builder worksheet with them, keep them, which is almost exactly like your Future Leader worksheet actually. It's just a little bit different. You're going to keep them accountable. You're going to keep them encouraged. You're going to identify when they have moved on to a new category. Because if you're keeping them accountable and encouraged, they're probably eventually going to move. Because statistics show that someone who doesn't advance within a year will quit. So help them advance, even if they are just at senior consultant. If you can move them to lead consultant, and even if that takes 3 months to do it and you can show them that they're building towards that progress, that's going to keep them active and encouraged. So you want to do that for them. And there is a Business Builder worksheet, I told you that, but it's just a modified Future Leader. Here's one that Belinda Ellsworth did not talk about, which is, hello, huge. Hobbyists. I have another name for these people, but this is the polite name. This is the official name, hobbyists. So how do we identify them? Now, there are the hobbyists who say that they are just buying this, and then there are people who do not sell anything ever. I put them all into one category called hobbyists. This is your frontline only. Just like your new consultants, hobbyists are frontline. Don't go digging for these. Good Lord, do not dig for these people. Nobody in their first 90 days will ever be a hobbyist. I do not care if they told you they are a hobbyist because they are going through the 6-party Fast Start system, so they're a new consultant. They're in that folder. They can move on if they say they're a hobbyist and they're done, then you can put them in this folder. If they are out of their Fast Start, no sales, no parties, and they have not logged into the workstation for over 60 days, or if they straight up tell you that they're a hobbyist. Okay, so your focus is this. Let them go. Do not try to turn them around. Okay? Put your time, because your time is valuable, your time is money. Put it into those who are working their business right now. Let these people who are hobbyists know that when they are ready to work their business, then you will be here for them, but that you are not checking up regularly on them. And yes, there's even a hobbyist worksheet because I made a worksheet for every single thing. So here you just put their name, their join date, today's date, the last date they logged in, what date did you send the I'm there when you need me message, when is their 1-year inactivity date? Because even though some people don't want to work their business, when that 1 year comes up and they have to admit that they failed at this, that might be motivation enough to relaunch their business. So you need to know when that 1 year inactivity date is coming up. And you need to actually file these in the file folder because they won't get individual names anymore. They'll go into like one big folder. You should probably file them by their inactivity date. And then keep track of when you sent them their inactivity date. And then if you're able to have a conversation with her, ask her why she wants to be a hobbyist. You should at least try to have that conversation. Not everyone is going to respond to you. But if they do, you can I have a whole other training on if a hobbyist is truly a hobbyist or if they're just going through something. But that's why you should just follow the have they logged in 60 days thing. If they have, then they're not a hobbyist. Okay? They're a business builder. So anybody have any questions about this? This is how to classify and identify your team so that you can properly help them and keep track of them. Yes. Liz, do you want me to unmute you? Okay, Liz, you're muted.
Okay, so you were talking about also reaching into our downline for looking at future leaders.
Yeah.
So, right? Okay. So I've got somebody who's 4 deep, but she's under Lisa, who's under Stacy, who's 2 deep under me. So I feel like if I have any conversations or I do anything, I'm stepping on their toes.
Okay, but see, in that situation, you would actually be coming across those people in your transitional leader worksheet. So when you go talk to Lacey and Lacey, that's nice. Lisa and Stacy, and you say to them, who are your future leaders, then that's really where you're working with that future leader, because she has been, so you can identify that future leader, and you can then go, this is a good question, such a great question, Liz. So you identify that future leader, and then you go to your transitional leader, and you make sure that she has identified her and filled out a future leader worksheet on her. If she is not doing that, you adopt her as your future leader, okay? You have to do that. I mean, if someone is not going to do that, you have to do that, or there's a chance that you'll lose them. But great question. That I kind of almost need to put into the actual training video. Or
you just did. And now
I know it's the video, but I need to get it into the PDF now. Great. Thanks for the extra work.
Do my best.
Okay.
You might want to mute me again, otherwise you're listening
to 1970. I will. Okay.
No, that's you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Oh my gosh. No, but wait, can you hear me now? Sorry. Okay. Alrighty. So that is that. Let's move on. We all know how to identify our team. If we don't, we'll look at the PDF later. So I'm sure everyone's going to get on to Amazon.com right now, or they're going to go somewhere and buy really cute folders, and you can write this off on your taxes. Right, Liz? We can write off office supplies. Please say yes, because that's my plan. All right. So now we are to stop the backsliding, which I don't think I actually filled this out. No, we're not doing that. That's a different training. Okay, so there's that. Yeah, because I had to break this up into yet another training, or I'm going to miss out on some good stuff here. Okay, so the next thing that I want to go over is what I call 14, well, I'm going to go over this team pages thing briefly. I'm sure everyone is like, what the freak is going on? There's 1,800 team pages. I don't know what to do or who's to belong to. If you are a leader, you're going to have your team pages, and then there's going to be leadership pages that you belong to. I'm just going over team pages. I'll go over leadership pages with you on the new leader training, which is not this. Okay, so the team pages are team manager page, your sponsors page, and your page. Your people should not belong to more than 3 pages. And I know that you're sitting on the other end going, 3 pages is too much. Well, it's not, and I'm going to explain this, okay? Now that we have new team managers, like, well, we have, I don't know. a lot of team managers, I feel like now. These team managers are not always going to keep their team in fire starters. But right now, for me, they are transitional leaders, and once they move to advanced leaders, their team moves out of fire starters. But that's not where we are right now. The team manager page, add your front line. Your entire downline will be on this page. The only time that anybody will probably be on 4 pages is during this transitional time when the team manager is maintaining her rank in the very beginning. I will tell you this, the team managers who have come on need to get their feet wet and need to see how the system's going to flow before they completely take it over. So right now they are focusing on their team and maintaining that rank, and then they'll be able to focus on the systems and the team pages and keeping up with reading the leadership board and all the announcements of what's going on. They need a little time for that. So we're going to have the team manager page. This gives you the why, because there's big incentives. You get to do shout outs to large groups. There are loads of ideas, and this is a safety net for if you forget to post something or don't see something. Also, team managers we have additional access to training, announcements, corporate employees, and items in the workstation. So there will literally be things on the team manager page you can't find anywhere else. So you're going to have to go to it as a resource. If you don't add your front line or your downline on there, that's okay. Your team manager is going to do that because your team manager is going to take ownership of her team and contact those people and tell them about her page. So even if you're like, I don't want my people on there, well, the team manager is going to invite them on there because it's a good place to be for the reasons I just told you. When do you leave? You leave when you become a team manager or another team manager promotes and they become your team manager. If your team manager is also your sponsor, Kelly and Kristen, you do not get to leave. You are with me forever. Actually, some people are going to be grandfathered into fire starters, but in the future, that's how it's going to work. So your sponsors page, you add your front line to your sponsors page until you are a higher rank than her for 3 months, okay? Unless she's a team manager, then that trumps everything. The reason that you do this is because you are doing what I talked about earlier, which is leading by example. One day you're going to want people active on your team page, so you need to be active on your sponsors team page, okay? This is the whys, all right? Your page, when should you create it? When you've been a lead for 2 consecutive months and when you have 4 actively selling legs. Not active legs, not warm bodies who came on, sold 0, and have done nothing. People who actively sell and are legs, not downline, legs, okay? Or if your sponsor has abandoned her page, or if your sponsor doesn't have a page. Why? Because you need a meeting place for your team. The team manager page is not the right place for that because it's gigantic, okay? So you need a meeting place. And your sponsors page can work for that for a while, especially if there's only like 15 or less of you. That's a great meeting place for you. So use it until you get bigger and then you create your own. All right, you do not have to adhere to this. I just strongly advise that you do adhere to it since I will be kicking people out of fire starters eventually, and it would be nice to have a system. So, and you're like, why are you kicking people out? I'm kicking people out because I am now a team manager to just certain people, and I don't want them to get ignored because there's 600 people in fire starters when team managers can be taking control of, 250 of those and helping them. Then I don't miss out on helping the teams I need to help. And eventually you'll be rising in the ranks and you'll want to do that too. So this is how you explain it all to your new recruits. Just like this. This is our team managers page. There's a lot of resources and monthly trainings. There are a lot of posts, so if you don't want notifications, just make sure you scroll through it once a day. I use it for, and tell her what you use the team manager page for. Okay? It does not have to be overwhelming unless you make it overwhelming. Notifications make this stuff overwhelming. People don't need to keep their notifications on, but they need to check in. I look at the, like Lisa E. has a page for all of us team managers. I don't have notifications. However, I treat it like a newsletter that I want to read either daily or every other day. So I go in and I scroll through every single post every day or every other day because it has valuable information I don't want to miss out on. Do I want to get a bunch of notifications? No, because I'm already getting a bazillion for my own team page, but I know that it's a page to watch and go and look at. And that's how you should treat the team manager page, or you can get notifications, whatever you want to do. But that's when it becomes overwhelming. The second thing is you say, this is my sponsors page. She is a senior lead consultant. I use this page for blah, 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 and so on. For your page, you're going to say this to her. This is my team page. I use it for goal posting in a place where you can ask any questions. As it grows, I'm sure it will change. You don't need to worry about creating your own page until you're a lead with 4 actively selling leads. But we'll talk about that then. Because do not go into them and their own page. That's going to be, that's overwhelming. All right. So there you go. How does everyone feel about this? I do want feedback on this. If you want to talk, just say, I want to talk, and I'll unmute you. Can I do it 3-ring binder style? Yeah, you can do whatever you want for the file systems. Okay. Does anybody else have any thoughts? Jessica, Amber, other people? Yeah, we're going to ease into the system. I mean, I'm assuming this page system is going to be something that come May is when it will really be into place. This is not a March thing. Okay, cool. All right. I will be also presenting this to the team. Well, I'm kicking Kelly out. That's the exception to the rule. All right. Sorry. Now, this is something that I've been excited to show y'all. And it's 14 weeks to success. And like, I've been so excited to show y'all this. Yeah, Christy, I agree. It'll be sad, but you know what? It's when we do it, there's going to be like a graduation day and lots of pomp and circumstance. So to be like, bye, we love you, everyone's so great, and there'll be a chance to have all of that. It won't be like, and you're gone, poof, get out of my life. And then you can, the new team manager can be like, yay, this is the first day of the rest of our lives, and this is exciting, and then that way we get all the silly emotional stuff. I am super emotionally attached to everybody. It's going to be hard. Yeah, it'll be like a wedding. And I will be like the father giving away the bride every time. It's going to suck. Okay. So here we go. 4 weeks to success. We do this. This is what's going to happen per person. Okay, per person. This is not a team. This is, let's say that, yes, Laura, your grandfathered in. So pretty much anybody who's on this call today can be grandfathered into Firestarters, but from here on out, you personally, but not your teams. Okay, so let's get excited about this new thing. Do we see this? In 14 weeks, you could have 33 new team members, 16,500 additional DRV, per participant team member. What the freak? Does this not sound exciting? Yay! Okay, now here's how we're going to do it. That's right. We're going to do this. Our doors. All right. So, let me just show you a little picture. I think. Am I showing the picture? I don't know. Oh, this is all you need to do. Recruit 3 new frontline in 1 month. So Christy, it could be your February. Bring them through the 6-party fast start system. Don't almost bring them through it. Bring them through it. Bring the recruits through the 6-party fast system. Bring those recruits through the 6-party fast system. We all know what I'm saying. We can read it. All right. Get your team on board, team managers. I use Kelly as an example. Oops, that was for my own personal notes. Sorry, Kelly. Sorry. Anyway, yay, look what Kelly gets to look forward to. Okay, so just you moving forward. You're going to add 33 new members, 16,500 additional DRV, and this is by June of this year. But if you got your leaders, so those who are lead and above on your team, and they convinced one person on their downline, by June you would have nothing. 165 new members, $82,500 in additional DRV by June. So, and I just showed you what you have to do. You have to recruit 3 new I did not say 15. 3. Now, the more you recruit, the higher your chances of this happening are. Duh. But if you recruit 15, can you really take care of 15 people and identify your leaders? No. So we don't have to be psychotic with the recruiting. We want to be stable with the recruiting. But you want to recruit 3, okay? And these numbers do not even include if one of your 3 new frontline want to also participate in this. They might be like, yeah, I would like to be there in 14 weeks. Thank you. So if they do, they'd only be worth 22 people. But all right. So this is just you. This is why you need to get your team on board. So now I'm going to talk about something else I learned through the Belinda Ellsworth trainings, and that's called group recruiting. Now I know that recently we have been on some calls where there's been like other leaders within Lisa Erickson's downline, and that's kind of partly what I'm talking about, but this is like actually a group recruiting effort, and not just people coming to a group call. The group call will be part of this, but it is that's not the end game here. So you and your team should devote 1 month to group recruiting. So the month that I have chosen for our team, that is everybody on my downline, and all the team managers have agreed to this, will be April. So April will be our group recruiting month. So gear up. Now, are we going to go harass everybody we know? No, of course we're not. We're not going to do that. We're just going to focus hardcore on recruiting. I will tell you this right now with recruiting. You can recruit a lot of people at once if you're focused on it. However, if you're doing that, you better have your personal month set up ahead of time. Like, so if you want to hit team manager, you better already have your parties in place to get your 700. Because the time that you'd be taking having parties, you're actually going to be talking to people on the phone and really, really working your recruiting. This is something that I did last year. So I recruited, I don't even feel like, I think it wasn't that many compared to how people recruit now. But in July, I recruited, I think 7, but maybe it was 9. I don't even know at this point. But anyway, it's a lot of people. Of those 7, I had 9. Thank you, Laura. She probably had 8 or something, then that's why she knows. Yeah, I had 9. So of those 9, currently, 1 is a premier and 1 is a team manager. So I'd say that's pretty good. And of people who didn't sign, I created a pipeline, and people that went to this event and were part of me contacting them joined in December. And I don't think I have any other ranks from that July recruiting period that were that high. So, but I didn't even focus as much attention on them as I wanted to, because I was very overwhelmed at that point. And I'm like, oh, if only I could have had this system in place when I had those 9 people. But all is not lost. So, but some of them are still active. I mean, they're still selling. It's not like they all fell off the face of the earth. Some of them recruited, and the people they recruited are selling and ranking up. So I'm just saying the ones I personally recruited, that happened. But I got a lot out of it, a lot. So those 2 people are Liz and Kelly, in case anybody wants to know. All right. So I think that we as a group need to do this in April as a group. And the reason I say do this as a group is because we can use each other as a support system and say, hey, how's this going? Oh, this is what I'm doing. And it's always good when you're going through something together. So we're going to do it in April. That is going to, there's going to be something I'm going to go over the team of. We're going to create a team event thing on Firestarters for it. We don't need to have one in each team manager page. I'm just going to do a big one in Firestarters to keep track of it. And then we can say, I booked one, or we can say, we need to get on Lisa E's team manager call. Don't forget, get all your people, your recruit leads on there this week, or when is that, or I ran into this problem, or it'll be a way for us to talk about it without talking about it on Firestarters, because not everyone is going to participate, although I think that you strongly suggest getting as many people to participate as possible, because you might have, because there's going to be lots of learning on here, lots and lots of learning. And sometimes I think that, for me, I never tried to recruit, and I didn't think that I was good at recruiting. I actually thought I was horrible at recruiting, and then I went to conference, and they put out like a little challenge about you get cruise points, extra ones for all your recruits, and I was like, I said right there on the stage, my weakness is going to become my strength. And I truly believe that everybody on this team, if you're scared and you don't think you're good at recruiting, this is going to help you kind of break out of your shell and do the right things for recruiting. And these are all the details, which we do not need to go over now, but this is what we'll be doing, and I went over this the other day. But basically, you're going to do the thing where you make the list, you're going to contact the people on the list, you're going to make another list and contact those people, you're going to make an event, you're going to make it meaningful, all these kinds of things, and we're going to be doing this together. So that's going to be really, really great. Now, we'll all have our own personal events, but there will be a big team event where we can share all of our great successes, or even share, oh, this is failing, can someone help me figure out why? And I think that will go a long way. So this should hopefully get you those 3 recruits in 1 month. And for some of you, if you want to start your system in March and get 3 recruits this month, and then do a big recruiting push next month, that would be awesome too, because you could go even further. But doing a big group recruiting push is something that Belinda said that you as a team should do once in a while, and we haven't done one since July, and I say go for it. April seems to be a good month. Everyone's going to have spring fever. That's good to play off of. If anyone is any of these, all the snow we've had all winter long, people are going to be excited to look at something and talk about something, and I think that April will be a good month for this. What do people think? If you would like to talk, tell me and I'll unmute you. But I'm kind of excited to see what other people think. Is this like scary? Do you think this 14 weeks thing is goofy? Are you excited? I've literally been excited all week to talk to you about it, and now that I present it to the empty air of my office, then... Okay, Kelly, why are you scared? What are you scared about? I'm going to unmute you, Kelly, so you can tell everybody why you're scared. Maybe I'm going to unmute you. Okay.
Oh, I muted myself earlier, that's why.
Oh, why are you scared? Why are you scared?
Oh, because you know me, I'm like an overachiever. And so,
you are?
You know, I get all OCD about it.
Oh, well, I mean, this is going to be a fun thing.
No, I'm like scared in a good way, you know. I kind of wish I went to the conference and got all the information, but, you know, I went...
What information?
The whole... Well, you know, I'm looking forward to going to the conference and going to all the
Yes.
workshops and everything.
Well, I'm going to tell you this about this little recruiting thing. I'm going to go over everything I learned. And the biggest thing, I'm going to go over all of that. So
Okay.
it'll be like you were there. And the biggest thing is just speaking from your heart and looking at what you're can do for others. That went a lot.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to mute you. Echo. Okay, anybody else have anything to say? Jessica, what do you think? I like to pick on Jessica, apparently. She is my... Oh, okay. Busted. Jessica got out of the shower. Okay, darn. Well, I guess she'll just have to go back through the slides. Oh, she's excited. Okay. All right. I know these trainings are really long. Very sorry about that. So everyone's excited? Who's not excited? I mean, there's 13 people on here, and not everybody said anything. Christy, Mary, what do you think about this? Megan, what do you think about this? Megan and Mary. Liz, if you can't handle this, your team can move it to a different month. You don't have to do it personally, but you should promote your team doing it for those who it works for, okay? It may not personally work for you, Liz, but definitely present it to your team, okay? I need cute folders. Yes. All right. Anybody have any questions about any of this? I think that might be all of this particular training. And those of you who are lead, who just became lead, I want to do a new future, whatever, a new wildfire member thing. For those of you who just got inducted to the wildfires, I want to do a meeting just with y'all to go over some key things now that you're in the game. But, oh, what's Megan say? What she said. Need it. Cute folders. Okay. I love that everyone is really excited. The lanyards is not right now, Kelly. What are you talking about? Okay. Is that it? I mean, it seems weird. I thought this would go much longer, but now all the documents I went over, I am going to upload just to wildfires for now, and I'm going to roll this out to the rest of the team, but I don't really, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to roll it out yet. So, are we good? Was there any other worksheets you think I should make while I'm at it? Nope. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm ending it. Thank you. It was a good one.